we are back with another Battle Breakers episode. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We already put out a couple videos and guides on this game, and today I have another guide, and then we'll take a little break for the time being so I can gauge to see how well received this game is going to be and if it's going to grow at all in the future. And we're going to talk about the top 10 characters that you can access pretty early on in the game to help you with Battle Breakers. And I want to thank Epic Games for sponsoring today's video as well. And there's a link down below if you want to play the game yourself. Click on the link, try it out, use the supporter creator code Arnold. It does support the channel if you do so. So let's hop into this and show you what we got going on. Now, this list is going to have a little bit of diversity going on here. I try to make sure I get a couple of characters from each and every element, because remember, in the guide we put out the other day, link in the top right hand corner, if you want kind of your top beginner tips to play this game, I told you guys that one of the best tips you could have is kind of building a diverse roster, trying to have a little bit of every single element, so that way you can create some teams meant to go after certain enemies that you're going to see out in the wild. About two of these characters will be a little bit more difficult to acquire, but I am going to include mostly characters that you're going to be getting easily just by casually playing the game and by getting free characters, because remember, in the guide we put out the other day, you're going to get a lot of characters through the hero quest. You can scan, get free heroes. There's a lot of ways to get free heroes. Basically, all the characters in here I got just by playing the game normally and picking which free character I want. So I'm going to try to help you guys get a good foot out forward so you can get a good start here. First character I want to talk about on this list is a Razorman. This girl has gotten me a lot of bang for my buck. She is a high attacking character. Like, look at her stats over to the right here. 999 damage, some decent HP, and some okay mana, but the mana does get depleted kind of quickly, so you won't be able to spam her special attacks too much. But as you notice, the special attacks is really where this girl shines. She throws a lot of daggers, and every time she's hitting, she's doing big amounts of damage. And with her passive ability, she's able to throw 2 extra daggers, so with her special ability, so she's just going to keep throwing and throwing and throwing. And if you want to make her the leader, aka the commander for your team, she can throw an additional 2 daggers, so 2, 4, 6. She can throw up to 6 daggers at your enemies, and especially when you're going up against those dark elements that you're going to see sometimes in battles, she should be able to one-shot a lot of more difficult characters that you're going to come across. And in case you didn't see the tip video, let me just give you a quick highlight. Yes, I'm highlighting some of the best characters to make your life a little bit easier, but if you're out there trying to see which characters are good, there's always this community rating thing down here which shows you what the community is rating a character at. Great and best in class are really the characters you want to focus on, rather than characters that are just good, okay, or even lower than that. For example, this guy right here, Legion Spearman, he's only rated okay, so basically a C grade character. So that's just kind of a quick tip that I just want to reiterate in case you're trying to figure out yourself if a character's good. Next on the list, we have Sir Lancelot. This is a water elemental character right here, and I actually have it in foil. The foil doesn't really mean too much in terms of actual gameplay, just looks prettier, and if you throw these characters in the pit, it does give you a little bit more bonuses. The reason why we have this guy is look at his defense. He's got some okay attack, but the defense is mainly what I'm looking for out of this character. He's considered a knight, and this is a character you're going to want to have in your front row. As we talked about, characters in the front row are protecting the back row characters, so I want someone with some pretty good defense. And as you see, the team's going to get extra block when he uses this special ability, and there's a mana discount, aka it's cheaper to use the special ability for 2 turns. Stun attackers who are trying to put damage on you. So this character overall is mainly a character that's going to help you for those fire elemental things, and just in general, he's a tanky character meant to protect the front line. I mean, that shield should kind of give it away that he kind of means business when it comes to defending your team. That's a pretty big shield if you ask me. Silent Blade is next on the list here. Now, this character, I kind of find myself gravitating towards him a lot, and really the thing I like a lot about this character is that he's got this constant assist ability going on here, and he's got some pretty good damage. Look at the damage, 1300 damage, and I don't even have him at a higher level compared to some of my other characters, and he puts out some fantastic damage. Yeah, super frail character. This is basically one of your iconic glass cannon characters in the game with this incredibly low defense right here. So this is the character you're going to want to have in your back line of your squad you're going to be forming, and he's going to be luckily hide under stealth for a lot of the battle, and stealth means you can't be targeted. He could still be hit by splash damage attacks or AoE damages, but in terms of single fire damage, he's not going to be hit much. So keeping him in the back row, preferably, probably I always put him in the back left of my lineup, and him being under stealth, he shouldn't die off too quickly. So you want him to hiding as much as possible, putting out big damage, and then when he's hiding under stealth, he's going to constantly be assisting when you're using a special attack. So this is a very good character to get up big damage. He's strong against water elemental characters, but just in general, having those constant assists are really going to help out, and the damage output you can't go wrong with no matter what type of characters you're going up against. Now we got this right here, Mekshe Dagoon. I don't know how how to pronounce the name. The reason why I like this character is that he kind of reminds me a little bit of Silent Blade that we talked about. We go, this is going to be our second water-based character. We're showing 2 from each element, so you got a little bit of some diversity to choose out of here. And the thing I like about this character is that he attacks twice, and also he also gets to stun enemies. Stunning enemies, being able to delay them, stall out their attacks, it does help out quite a lot. And he also has this thing where while he's on cooldown, he increases his defense while he's kind of waiting for his next turn, getting ready to do his thing. He's not going to take out as much damage. That's going to help out a lot. Now, our second grass elemental character is going to be Baldric Stonewall. These are some very interesting names that they have going on here. It looks really cool, but then he's called Baldy. I'm going to call him Baldy for right now. The great thing about him is that he's more of a team survivability based character. He's going to increase the team defense just with his special. He doesn't have it's not a part of the leadership, but just in general, he's going to be increasing the defense of the whole entire team by 15% of his max health. And luckily, you know, his max health does get better. I don't have him completely leveled up all the way. He's only at level 50. I can go way higher than that right now, but getting hero XP upgrades, those are pretty much the biggest grind about this game, I gotta say. So he's gonna get more health pool, and the more health pool, the more defense he's gonna be granting to the team. He's got stuns as well, so he stuns targets for 3 turns just through his passive when damage is dealt. So it's a small chance, 15%, but just being able to have stuns just passively, it is very helpful. And he's got a leadership ability as well. It's not gonna be anything, I don't think it's the best leader in the game, but if you're looking for a grass-based leader, it is nice overall, because if your front row is being attacked, the front 3 characters, attackers are gonna be poisoned for 20% of the attack for 3 turns. So think of it kind of like a damage over time type of thing. Now let's talk about our first purple character right here. This is going to be Necromancer Yulang. Now he's rated as a great character. You can get him pretty easily just from the normal Skybreaker quest. Not too hard to acquire. And this is kind of an interesting character. He's a high mana character, which means he has a very high special. He can use his special abilities quite a lot. Keep spamming special abilities. It only costs 40 mana to use his special skills, and he's got 150 mana, so you can just use this many times. And of course, all these stats can upgrade over time as well. So his special attack, he's going to constantly do 200% attack, and when he's destroying targets, they're being replaced by ghouls near their position. So it's kind of like getting extra allies throughout the whole entire map. And the cool thing is, when these minions are dying off, he's going to keep stacking up his mana. So this is probably one of the best mana regeneration characters we have in the game. And then he's got chances to add more ghouls onto the field. So eventually, he can just kind of like just populate. It's kind of like a zombie apocalypse type of thing that's going on. So it's kind of a cool character overall. Mainly just the main thing I just like about it is just the constant regeneration of minions on the field and the high mana. This is one of those characters it's very rare that he's not going to be spamming a special attack for you. Next up, CU001 fire character. This is kind of a splash damage character. It's he shoots an area and it kind of splashes over to the adjacent tiles right here. Fire-based character, so great for those grass elemental battles you're going to be going in. And he does good. He does some all right damage. Not going to be as high as some of the other characters we talked about, but it's more of a just kind of controlling various areas. And especially if there's like a group of like grass elemental characters, he's just going to burn them out, because as you see with the special, 200% attack to a small region, and he gets to create a fire train for 2 turns. And this damage can keep stacking. Yes, his attack isn't as high, but as you see, he gains 2% attack, additional damage for each fire terrain. So when there's more red areas on the field, his damage increases, and it can also keep increasing as well. If you choose to have him as the leader, when a fire hero kills an enemy, they create a fire terrain below that hero for 8 turns, and consuming flames grants 1% damage for each fire terrain. So you can keep increasing the damage of this character. So it scales. It keeps on scaling. So for fire-based characters, shouldn't be too bad. And again, he's not too difficult to acquire. He's found the normal Skybreaker quest. So those characters we talk about are mostly easy to acquire. I'm going to talk about 3 characters that are going to be a little bit more difficult. And I want to talk about, if you're very familiar with Fortnite, you got your Cuddle team leader. Fortnite is made by Epic Games. This game is made by Epic Games. So it's kind of cool thing. They're trying to do some crossover. So they look deadly, don't they? The great thing about this character, man, this is going to be a okay, let me show you how to get this character. The way to get this character is you got to go to the hero store, and over time, you're going to collect these tickets right here. Now, these tickets you acquire just by playing the game, and probably I'd say about maybe 3 or 4 days of grinding. If you play pretty steadily, you should get about 5,000 of these, and then you can unlock the Cuddle team leader. I've already unlocked it. That was the first one I went for because, man, this character, lots of crazy damage. Look at that, 1375. And as you see, her kit is a lot more built up. It's bulkier than a lot of the other characters that we talked about today. It's a splash damage attack. You do massive damage to the primary target, then it splashes over the nearby enemies. It breaks crystals, and then she drops boogie bombs that stuns and disable reflex defense. It's like, holy cow. this is a lot of stuff going on. That's just a special. And then the unique ability allows her to attack up to one enemy that currently has a cooldown of 1 or lower, so just constantly spamming out extra attacks. And then her leadership ability, I'm actually using her leader quite the most. I mean, you won't be able to get this character early on, but once you do, this might be your leader you're going to be using for quite a while, because it's probably the best general catch-all leadership we kind of have in the game. Every 4 turns off a cooldown, having health below 75% health, you get to keep restoring 15% of the max health, and then after every 10 turns you get to restore 100% HP, and this even persists after a character has been defeated. So it's just non-stop health regeneration. So this is probably the best survivability based character we have to really keep your team around as long as possible. I think she might be kind of almost necessary for a lot of those battles, especially when you get to the end game. A lot of people are using her, and she is going to be a bit more difficult to acquire. She really is only found in the event content as well as that hero store that I just showed you. And then we got 2 characters left over. We got Noble Slayer right here, our last fire-based character we're going to talk about today, and he's also got a pretty good leadership catch-all ability. And I don't think it's as good as the team leader we talked about, but you get to heal 15% of your HP, and you increase defense by 20% attack for 6 turns whenever last rate deals bleeding. So a little bit of a conditional here, and you have to get bleed apply up here with last rate, so it's a bit conditional. That's why I do like the Cuddle team leader. It's such a funny word. That's a funny name to say. The unique ability is pretty nice. You get to restore your mana and health while attacking when attacking enemies that are about to use a special ability. So it prepares you for what's coming. Someone's about to attack, let's regenerate a little bit of health. So when you pair this character up with the team leader we just talked about, a lot of health regeneration. So you want that balance between survivability and damage output, of course. And this character puts out good damage as well, and their special ability is pretty good too. All right, so that was Noble Slayer. Let me show you the last character, which I do not have, that I really do want to get. If you go to Monster Pit, you can see basically all the characters that are in the game, and the character that I really want to get my hands on is going to be the Noble Guardian. So basically it kind of looks like Noble Slayer, but it's going to be the light variant of it. And the reason why I like this character is, man, very good kit. Again, it's kind of got the baseline thing that we just saw with Noble Slayer a few seconds ago, but it's a little bit different. You get double debuff power and a duration if duration if the target is about to use a special ability. So this gets a little bit better. And here you get 10 mana and 40% health percent regeneration when attacking enemies that are about to use a special ability. So it's a little bit better than what Noble Slayer just had a moment ago. And this leader ability is definitely better than Noble Slayer as well that we just saw. You get heal for 35% of the teammates, max HP. Then you can increase the team's attack by 40% and defense by 200% of this hero's attack. So it's I mean, it's a lot less conditional than what Noble Slayer had going on. This character is a lot more difficult to get, but as you see, best in class character right here. So this is going to be something that's going to be a bit a little bit more end games. But so I wanted to give you guys a variety of stuff you can access early game, and then once you progress more, keep your eyes peeled for things like the Cuddle team leader as well as the Noble Guardian, because those characters, man, they are super clutch and make forming teams and defeating enemies a lot easier. So that's gonna wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you Epic Games for sponsoring today's episode. Comment down below if you've been playing the game, what characters have you been enjoying? Maybe you have some other characters you could recommend to people watching these videos. Like if you did enjoy, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And I'll talk to all of you lovely people in the next video. Peace out, everyone.